Hey, it's me, Renee. I'm back. And today I'm gonna give you 12 books from 2015, my reading year 2024, that I recommend as kind of like giving you some recommendation if you're doing the 12 books from 12 friends in 2025. Lots of people are doing this, and I've seen it going around a lot on Bookstagram. But some people also are like, I suppose it's a general book to nut thingy. And I also saw Kirsty at KBet Bookish doing this video, and I thought, yeah, that's a good way to talk about books from this year that you very much loved, but also in the same way, give some recommendations. Though, I mean, always when you talk about a book you very much love, you are giving a recommendation, but yeah. If you've been around here before, you probably have seen these books on the channel before. If not, hey, I'm Renee. This way is very much craziness and funness, and yeah, I'm gonna give you some recommendations for stuff. I have noticed that because Kirsty did like a bit of, she went into different genres and whatnot. I haven't gone into that many different genres, but I feel like I've kind of have a bit for everyone really. And I suppose also like if you're doing 12 days, 12 books from 12 friends challenge. I feel like it's kind of fun to try to get out of your comfort zone and try something you don't read usually. But also, if you watch this and none of these books interest you, that's fine. Then you've watched a video and it's not for you. Not every book is gonna be for you. That is fine also. But I hope some of these will be. Let's start. So we're gonna start with A Margot Mooch for the Win by Kerry McRoshan and Ian McWherty. Digression. These are gonna be books I read this year, not necessarily that came out this year. So yeah, this book came out in 21, 22. I want to double check that. It came out in 2022. Yeah, 22. And yeah, it's a sequel to another book that I love very much. It's a sequel to Margaret Merch for the Win. Oh, takes it down, and then you have For the Win. This one is all about high school. This is both about high school, but also about local politics. So it's very relevant in this year's in 2024 because of all the elections that happened, but also that states made a choice. And yeah, this it is YA. It's feminism. It is very funny. It's funny, very poignant. But it's also a book that makes you, honestly, it made me think really about the world. How it kind of lives. It kind of shows you how the world is not black or white. It's very much gray. Like nothing is very simple. It is in between there really. And then we also had yeah, there's also some romance in it. Nice kissing. There's some high school drama. It has everything. But also, honestly, yeah, it made me cry a bit. So if you're in for a good cry when you're reading, check out this book. Then, yeah, again, I feel like this is a bit mean. Not mean. I suppose read this one. Boo hoo for you. I'm kind of mean. But I'm gonna go for my second pick. I'm gonna go with Vilma for Alltid, which actually came out this year. And as you see, yeah, it's a Norwegian book. This series, though, actually, it is out in German. So if you read German, you can pick up this series, or at least the first two books, or first book. I'm not sure how many books are out in German. But yeah, so this is all about Vilma. It's the third book in her series, and the authors kind of said that this might be in the end, but it also she might write more, but it's kind of an end in a way. Like, it could work as an end. And this book, Vilma, she goes to London to kind of go for her dad's possessions because he died, and he has a apartment, so she kind of decides to go for his things and whatnot. So it's very emotional that way. And Vilma, she's also pregnant, but also a bit neurotic, so she is afraid to eat anything, or like she's very much like, you can't do this, you can't do this. You have to. She reads all the different list of what you have to do when you're pregnant and what you can't do, and yeah, and there's yeah, it's a lovely story. It is a story that I would say again, you will I'm not gonna say that everyone will, but at least I cried from it. I cried some sad tears, but also some happy tears. And yeah, this book and this series is amazing. It is a must read. I did recently hear someone talk about this book on Norwegian radio. Well, not this book, sorry, the first book, and I kind of went for it and like, no, yeah, I think yeah. Sorry, they talked about this last one because this is the newest book in the series, and they talked about how it wasn't good at all, and I'm like, no, you idiot! I was just kind of yelling at the radio because he was just so wrong. Of course, yeah. I mean, it's it's a book review. People are gonna have different opinions on book. Like, I just wanted to scream and like shake him, like, no, you're wrong, wrong. But yeah. Anywho, then we have Curves for Days by Laura Moore. This is a small town romance. It is main character or one of the main characters fat, and then yeah, kind of say a bit of those Gilmore Girls vibes because it's set in a small town, cozy. It doesn't have any very quirky main characters, but I mean it's kind of like, I suppose small town always kind of gives you a bit of a Gilmore Girls vibe, and yeah, it's just a very lovely story. There's this third act breakup because it's romance. Well, because it is a romance with a third act breakup, resolved in a nice way, and yeah, I just love it. It's also the first in I'm not sure if it's trilogy or not, but at least in the first in a series with like interconnected romances. And I'm definitely going to continue with this series soon. This like next year. So yeah, you should check out this one if you're in the mood for contemporary romance set in a small town with lovely, lovely characters. This is for you. And then, of course, I'm gonna have to cough a bit. We have The Epic Crush of Jeannie Lowe by FCE. This is a YA take on Chinese mythology. It also has reincarnation in there, which I love. It's just so fun to see reincarnation. I feel like that's not really something that's used very often. At least in my experience, like very often when you have mythology retellings, it's very often demigods. Sometimes you have the gods who are punished and come down to earth. Here, it's reincarnation, and yeah, I love that way to do it. It's a whole story. It's so fun. And this is the first in a duology, actually. Not a standalone, not trilogy, a duology. So if you read this book, you'll read half a series. And I mean, it's full of twists. It's full of turns. It's has great plots all over the place. Like it's great A, B, and C plots. Great characters. It's just honestly, it's just this is one of the books that I've read in my life that I have zero complaints about. There's no gripes or no gripes about it at all. It is a perfect book in my opinion. So if this sounds like your cup of tea, check it out. Or if it doesn't sound like your cup of tea, but you want to read a 5 million star book, check out this book. Then we have The Cursed Rose by Leslie Weather. Yes, this list is gonna have a lot of fantasy books. Sue me, I enjoy lots of fantasy, so yep. This is the last in a trilogy, so if you're gonna read this, I would say that you have to check out the first two books first. I mean, yes, you can start a series that's like you can jump into a series sometimes, but I wouldn't recommend starting with the last book. That's never a good idea. But if you kind of want to check out a new series, this is a series for you. And I mean, now it's completed, so you can binge the whole trilogy. It is fairy tale retellings, but well, honestly, it's kind of like fairy tale remixes more. It's not like they don't retell a famous story point for point, but just like with different setting and whatnot. It's more like they take elements from the fairy tales and then mix them up. Kind of it's like Once Upon a Time, but not that. But yeah, like that I would say in a way. It has sapphic elements to it, and yeah, it's an amazing, amazing series. I love it so much. I would say though, each book, even this last one, because of at least for me and my stupid brain or my weird brain. I mean, this series takes place in a high fantasy, in a different world entirely. It's not a portal fantasy. It's not a urban fantasy. It's a completely different world. So each time when I pick up one of these series, one of these books, I enjoy it, but it takes a while to get into it. I would say, like it takes me like 5, 6 chapters before I'm like, oh yeah, now I get it. In the beginning, it's like, hmm, hmm, hmm. Okay, okay, and then you get to a point like get how everything works and everything fits together, and yeah, and then after that point, you're just like, hmm, you're just flying through the book. But other than that, it is an amazing, amazing series. It needs to be read by everyone in the world, is my opinion, really. But yeah, The Cursed Rose by Leslie Weather is the last book in the Bone Spindle trilogy. Check it. This book. And then we have The Amari and the Despicable Wonders by B.B. Olsen. This is the third Amari book in this series. Also, a little fun fact: there's gonna be more Amari books, but the fourth book is gonna be a spin-off, or spin-off-ish, in a way that the next book is gonna have a new villain and it's gonna introduce you to new parts of this universe. So if you want to kind of, I suppose you could read the first 3 books and then stop with this book. Though I would say, why would you do that? I mean, it's an amazing series. But yeah, this as the first 2 books, I love this so much. It is an amazing, amazing series. I have zero complaints. This again, kind of a through line here. A red line, but in this book also, I did cry a bit because the feelings were definitely there. And yeah, this high stakes, high rewards, and yeah, love, I love this book. You need to read it. Of course, though, it's again the third in the series, so if you haven't read the first 2 books, first, like, why haven't you? But also, check out the series in next year. Then we have contemporary. Again, I have some contemporaries here. I have mixed them in there and there. Sorry. The Bookish Life of Nina Hill. Yes, this has been around since 2019. So, since when did it come out? Came out in 2019, yes. So it's been out for quite a few years now. Time flies, for 5 years. I did not pick it up for this year. Picked it up this summer and absolutely loved it. It is a great read for book lovers. I mean, The Bookish Life of Nina Hill, kind of their in title, really. But also Nina Hill, she both loves books, but she also loves quizzes, which is definitely me. So I very much felt connected to her. We are different in the way that the family we have, and also she doesn't like to travel at all. I like to travel. I don't need to travel all the time, but I like to travel. So, but that's kind of, I would say, maybe the only difference between us two. So, yeah, Nina Hill, love this. If you're in for book with a, a book with lots of bookish references and uh, lots of good characters and plots. Well, okay, sorry. I would say there's one point in this book where, like, because one of the characters is gay, and is gay in like that gay way, and it's like his whole character is gay, and that kind of feels a bit outdated. But other than that, this book is amazing. Love it very much. And then we have Role Playing by Kathy Yardley. This is adult romance. It's also actually in a small town, and they fall in love through role playing, online role playing games. But they also live in the same town. They they're both in their later part in life, well, not pensioners, but yeah. One of them is in the 40s. One of them is in their late 30s, and the love story, uh, the words. The woman in this story, Maggie, she gives me very much vibes of us people from North Norway. She does not take crap. Like, if something does not go the way it should be, she's like, come on, people, get it together. And also, she goes like saying, no, don't be an idiot. And I love her vibes so much. And yeah, this book is amazing. It also has demisexual words representation, which is also quite nice to see. And yeah, I love it so much. Did try another caviar book this year, which I did not love, but that happens. But this book, amazing. Also a standalone, so if you need a standalone for your reading list next year, pick up this book. And then we have City Spies by James Ponty, the first in this series. It's a middle grade series. I got it used, that's why this copy is a bit roughed, a bit loved. But yeah, this came out in lots of years ago. 20, yeah, I want to say maybe 20, 2021, actually. It's a series now of 6 books in this middle grade series with spies, which I just love. They go all over the world, and yeah, this series I only have one gripe with, is that in the series the characters have aliases where they go by the city where they're from instead of their names. So if you're from London, you would be called London. The character you meet in this book, first book, is from Brooklyn in New York and goes by Brooklyn. But I'm like, um, Brooklyn's not a town. New York is a town, so that bothers me because I mean, yeah, fine, Brooklyn's a big place, but it's not like the character from London goes by Soho, or the character from, can't think of another example. Well, yeah, the other characters use the towns. Like there's a person from Rio de Janeiro, and they go by Rio, while Brooklyn goes by Brooklyn, and it's like, wow, for, for the love of God, you couldn't do it that way. But please be concise, consequent with it. Have it with everyone or with no one. I don't like that. But other than that, a little gripe that makes me. But other than that, I very much enjoyed this book so much. Although this series is amazing. So yeah, if you want some spy action in your life next year, check out this series. Then we have 2 non-fiction books. We have Round Island with a Fridge This one actually came out in the 90s, so it's an older book, but again, I didn't read it for now. And also, to just go and check, yeah, 98. So I suppose if you're gonna read some books like were published lots of times ago, lots of years ago, this is the book for you. And yeah, it's a travel log with a guy who goes hitchhiking around Ireland with a fridge, which is a bonkers idea. But also, Ireland is a quite a fun place to travel around, at least through when you're reading it, yeah, there. And also, I've been to Ireland, and it's a very nice place. So yeah, he meets lots of characters and does lots of things. And I mean, sometimes nothing happens, but most of the time things happen. And yeah, it's a very good story. So if you're in the mood for trying to more nonfiction, I would say try this one. And then, last but not least, we have Word Drops by Paul Anthony Jones. So this was originally a Twitter account, and then they made it into a book. So it's just kind of short, non-fiction, so short fun facts about language. It's both about English language, but also languages in general. And yeah, it is very fun. It is like it's a book that you can pick up, read a bit in, and then put it down because there's no narration. It's just small tidbits, but it's also just very funny and engaging. And yeah, I recommend this one for you guys out there. If that sounds like something for you, or if you might try, I suppose maybe like haven't really read and nonfiction. I would say this is a good place to start because it's just small sentences. And I also feel like if you read a book like this, if you skip 2 pages, I would still say you have read the book. You don't really have to read every page, I would say. So yeah, this is a great book for you guys. And that is my 12 recommendations for 12 by 12 friends, or yeah, by 12 recommendations book. So if you want to read all of these, cool. That's fun if you do that. If you pick one of them, fun also. And yeah, you want to give me title of one book that you read 2024 that you can recommend people, or if you want to give me 12 recommendations, that will also be fun in comments. And I'll see you soon. Bye.